Good morning, friends. It's me, Cassandra from Mobile Om Yoga, and I'm so grateful to have you joining me for this virtual yoga practice today. I'm here on location at the beautiful Confluence Park in San Antonio that is brought to you by our sponsors for this class, which is the San Antonio River Foundation. So Confluence Park got its name because it's actually located at the confluence or the convergence of the San Antonio River and the San Pedro Creek. So I think it's such a great space to be able to host these virtual experiences every Sunday morning to bring our own community together. So from wherever you are joining us, I'm so happy that you're taking this time this morning to connect to yourself and to build this virtual community of mindfulness. So thank you so much. Let's unroll our mat and get started. For today's practice, I have a very invigorating practice for all levels. We're going to break it down, but we're going to start standing up. So go ahead and come to the top of your mat, standing on your feet. You're going to take your feet about as wide as your hips so that you feel nice and stable here. And then open up your palms to face forward. And as you do that, just allow the shoulders to maybe roll up, open up, and then settle down the back. And then allow your eyelids to close, and let's take a moment to really arrive. So this physical posture, this yoga pose that we're in is called Tadasana, which means standing at attention. So let's start by paying attention to standing in our feet, taking your awareness to the space where your feet meet the floor. Perhaps noticing how your foundation naturally may favor one part of the foot, or perhaps the right or the left foot. See if you can actively bring yourself into a nice, stable, neutral, balanced foundation, grounding through both feet. And as you bring the awareness into the feet, start to draw it up into the legs, lifting your kneecaps and really feeling the strength and stability of your legs holding you up here. And as you bring your awareness down into the feet and legs, take just a moment to consider why you stepped onto your mat today. What is your motivation for being here? And as you stay grounded and strong through the feet, through the legs, begin to breathe a little bigger as you lift up through the crown, opening up a little bit more through the heart. As you fully embody that intention to be here for whatever reason you've chosen today. With your next inhale, go ahead and open up your eyes. Just look at whatever is right in front of you, beginning to really arrive in this space, in this moment, to commit yourself. And then with your next inhale, begin to extend all 10 fingers up towards the sky. Capture your right wrist with your left hand. You're going to inhale to get a little longer, a little taller here. Shoulders drop. And then as you exhale, lean over towards the left and press your hips over to the right. And take another breath in and out here. And then inhale through center, capturing the left wrist this time. Stay here for the exhale, drop the shoulders. One more inhale, let's get long, and as you exhale, lean to the right. An extra breath in here, and an exhale takes you a little deeper into that side body. With the next inhale, come back to center, release your wrist, 10 fingers to the sky. And on your exhale, drop down, hands come behind your back. Take an inhale, interlace the hands, lift the heart, maybe the gaze. And as you exhale, release the hands, bend your knees, and just fold all the way down into a forward fold. On your inhale, hands come to shins or thighs, halfway lift. And with your exhale, take it back down, forward fold. Root through the feet, get strong. Inhale, reach all the way up, stretch tall through the fingertips. Exhale, drop the hands back behind the back. Take an inhale, puff the chest, lift the heart. Exhale, release the hands, soften the knees, forward fold. One more time, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, melt it down. Feel the ground beneath the feet get strong. Inhale, rebound, fingertips all the way up to the sky. Exhale, release the hands behind the back. Take a big breath in, knuckles lower, heart lifts. Exhale, release the hands, forward fold. Halfway lift. This time with your exhale, plant the palms, step your feet to the back of your mat, and pause in a nice strong high push-up or high plank pose. So you can do this by lowering the knees as well. And if you're establishing in either space, we're establishing that same sensation of taking the ears away from the shoulders. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, slowly begin to lower belly to mat. Breaking down our first vinyasa here. Let's take a cobra together. Inhale, lift the chest, squeezing those elbows in close and keeping your feet nice and grounded and strong here. Exhale, lower down. We're going to make our way to our first downward dog. So tuck your toes. You can come through tabletop. We're going to lift our hips up and take them into down dog. 3 really big breaths here. In through the nose. Exhale it out. 2 more. Big breath in. Exhale it out. You've got this. Just 1 more breath in through the nose. And then get empty. Let it out. Lower your knees. Find child's pose. Hips come to heels. Forehead to the mat. So as we continue to move through this invigorating practice, know that doing more is not always best. That coming here into this space of grounding or surrender whenever you need can be a very powerful way to pay attention to yourself and to what your wisdom tells you. Let's take 1 more moment together here, grounded in this child's pose, breathing in through the nose. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Inhale, coming up through tabletop. Tuck the toes, lift your hips, making your way to downward facing dog. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale to empty. Take your gaze to the hands. Walk, step the feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins or thighs. Roll the shoulders back. The navel's nice and strong here. Exhale, fold. Root through the feet, reach to the sky. Inhale, take it high. Exhale, we got it. Hands behind the back. Inhale, lift the heart, drop the knuckles. Exhale, soften the knees, release the hands, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. 1 breath, 1 movement. Exhale, hands to the mat. Take the feet back and then lower down all the way to the ground or maybe to a hover. If you want to make it a little more invigorating, we can find a full upward dog instead of a cobra. Exhale to down dog. And then take a moment, meet yourself here, find your breath. Again, we're not here to fill anyone else's expectations, to prove anything to ourselves, to be more than we're meant to be for ourselves. So just take a moment to recognize the energy you're putting in and make sure it's feeding the intention you showed up with. 1 more breath in and out. Look to the hands, take the feet forward to the fingers. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. 1 more time through that sun salutation variation. Inhale, we'll rise all the way up. Exhale, release the hands behind the back. Knuckles lower, heart lifts, inhale. Exhale, release the hands as you fold all the way down. All right, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the mat, feet step back. Perhaps you're doing this with a modified knees down, all the way to belly to the ground, or you're doing a full chaturanga, cobra pose or up dog, meeting in downward facing dog, or maybe dropping to child's pose if you need that this morning. Deep breath in, long breath out. Look forward, take your feet to meet the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. This time we're going to find chair pose. So feet can be hip width distance as they were earlier, or maybe it feels stable enough for you to bring the big toes together. And start by dropping the hips low. And then we're going to bring the hands to your heart center as you peel the chest away from the thighs. So coming back to that grounding awareness in the feet and the legs here. So shift the weight towards the heels. Sit the hips low and really feel your legs waking up. Now as you sit into your foundation, reminding yourself of your why for being here. I'm sure there's probably not many of you or any of you who showed up to suffer. So when suffering arises, I like to say it's optional because we can be bigger than that suffering. If you're suffering, if the legs are burning, try to find awareness in the heart of lifting, of opening, maybe of smiling in your mouth. If you need to take it deeper, if you need a little more oomph this morning, you can take the fingertips high. We'll take one more breath together here. And then exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. With the exhale, step your left foot to the back of your mat. You're bending the right knee over ankle, rise up to warrior one. Hands can come to hips, squaring those hips, squaring your body towards the small edge of your mat. As you draw the right hip back and the left hip forward, pause and then re-anchor into your feet, especially the back edge of your, or the outer edge of your back foot, all four corners of the front foot. And then staying here or reaching up as the fingers get nice and tall, shoulders drop down the back. Maybe you lift up the gaze. Warrior one, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, release the hands to meet the mat. Come to the ball of your back foot. Go ahead and take your right foot to meet the left, straight into downward dog. No need to take a flow here. Then you're just going to inhale, look at the hands. Start to shift forward, step your left foot forward, right foot down, and come straight to warrior one on the left side. Hands to hips, bending your left knee over ankle, wrapping that right hip forward to square your hips towards the front of the mat, anchoring in the back foot. So once you feel that strong, stable warrior base, draw in from the belly. You can lift the fingertips, and as the fingers come high, shoulders continue to anchor down. Maybe lift the gaze, one more breath, reaching. As you exhale, hands to the mat. Come to the ball of your right foot. Step the right foot to meet your left. Meet at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, take it down, forward fold. Sitting low once more. Inhale, let's come into chair pose. Hands at the hips or reaching up to the sky. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, begin to bring your hands together at your heart center if you've reached them high. We're going to inhale length here. As you exhale, begin to press into the left hand as you twist over towards the right. So first you're just staying upright in the chest. And as you start twisting towards the right, set the hips a little bit deeper. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, begin to lean forward. And you're going to dip that left elbow and try to hook it to the right thigh. If you're not quite there, you can take the right hand to your hip and extend that left arm straight and just find maybe the back of the hand or the arm as a brace on that right knee. Each inhale, we're getting long from hips to heart. Each exhale, wringing out. At any time, the arms can open up if you need a little more of an invigorating option here. Taking one more moment, big breath in. Exhale, forward fold over your legs. Halfway lift, inhale. And exhale, bow down. Stepping into the right foot, left foot's going to come to the back of your mat. Once again, we're inhaling, rising up into warrior one. Square the hips, fingertips high. Anchoring into the back foot, take an inhale. As you exhale, release the hands behind the back. Puff the chest up as the knuckles lower. Take an inhale here. And then this time, humble warrior fold towards the inside of that right thigh. You can rest on the thigh or come towards the inside. Hands can be on the back. They don't have to lift anywhere. And if it feels okay, if you're ready to release, let the head soften down. Take a deep breath in and out. Release your hands to the ground. Inhale, start to halfway lift. Look forward. Shift onto the ball of your back foot as you sink a little bit deeper into that right knee. Drop your left knee down to the ground. Uncurl your left toes. Right hand to your right thigh. Begin to twist open to that right side. So your right hand is on your thigh, helping to anchor you here. You can reach your right hand to the sky. Or if you really want to challenge, if you're into it, we've got all levels of yogis out there, all types of experiences. You can reach back and try to grab onto the back foot. Take a breath in and out. And then go ahead and release back, both hands to the ground. Tuck your left toes, lift the knee, and then step your left foot forward to meet the right. Both feet meet at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Sit low, find chair pose. Take a moment, maybe the hands are reaching up to the sky, and then you'll find your palms together, thumbs come to the heart. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, press into the right hand and begin to turn your torso over to the left. Keep sinking into the hips. Keep the heart high for just one more breath. Get a little deeper into your twist. And then begin to dip in. See if that right elbow can come to the left thigh. Or again, maybe you extend the right arm. Wherever you are, take a moment to re-ground into the legs and feet. Re-ground your mind into your why. And then maybe you open up the arms. Let's take one more moment. Get as deep into the experience as you can today. One more breath. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Hands to the mat. As you exhale, step your right foot back. Plant the foot. And rise to warrior one. Squaring your hips forward. Fingertips reach high. Come alive. Take another inhale. As you exhale, bring the hands behind your back. This time, pause as you're gripping your hands and switch your grip to take the non-dominant grip. Wrap the elbows back, lift the heart, take an inhale. And then guiding, leading with the heart, begin to fold forward, taking your chest to the inside of the left thigh. And then you can allow the head to drop down. Keep your feet grounded, keep yourself stable. It's a practice that keeps us from drifting off into the distractions of our minds, keeps us anchored here in this experience. Root through the feet, one more breath here. And then we'll rise up on an inhale, release your hands, fingertips reach to the sky. Exhale, hands come all the way down to the mat to surround that left foot. And you're going to come to the ball of the right foot and begin to drop the right knee down, uncurl the right toes. Left hand onto the thigh, begin to twist open, using that left hand as a guide. So the sensation of twisting is what we're aiming for here. So if you already feel it, great, stay right here. If you want to go deeper, you can begin to bend your back knee. Maybe you reach back for your back foot. If that's way out of your comfort zone today, that's okay. Again, every intention is viable as long as it gets you here, right? One more breath. And then go ahead and come back forward. Left hand come to the mat. Tuck your right toes under, lift the knee. This time you're going to step your left foot to meet the right, finding your way into downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And exhale, breath out. Inhale, come forward, bring the shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, begin to come all the way down onto the belly. Uncurl the toes. Bring your hands onto the lower back and interlace them one more time. You're going to inhale and start to lift the chest, just like cobra pose. Keep the hands anchored at the low back. And then begin to lift your legs. So you're really getting strong in the back body. And then when you're ready, if you're ready, you can begin to activate the shoulders. Roll them back. Maybe you lift the knuckles away from the back. Keep a little micro bend in the elbows. Take one more breath. Lift high. Exhale. Go ahead and lower down. Bring an ear to the ground. Release the hands to the ground. A few big, full, deep breaths here. And since this is an all-level practice, you know, it's so great that we can all meet ourselves where we're at. Because, you know, it's not just all levels because, you know, we're all different experiences of yoga, but it's because each day we're at a different level. Some days we need more, some days we need less. So decide here if you want to take that same thing once again, or we can deepen it a little bit by bending the knees, and if it's available to you, grabbing onto the feet. Again, not available, not a big deal. You're going to get just as much invigorating opening by interlacing the hands. So take an inhale, lift the chest, lift the feet. If you have the feet, kick the feet into the hands. Continue to breathe wherever you are. See if you can bring a little length to the back of the neck instead of crunching it up. Taking one more breath. Kick if you have the feet. Lift those knuckles if you're holding hands. One more breath. As you exhale, release, bringing the opposite ear down to the ground, bringing the hands to the earth. Relaxing out here. And go ahead and begin to bring the palms underneath your shoulders. As you inhale, press yourself up and back, hips to heels, child's pose, forehead connects to the earth. In and out. And then begin to walk your hands back towards your knees, shifting your hips to either side. Begin to bring your legs around in front of you. Soles of your feet together here. Take an inhale to lift the heart and the gaze. A little bit of like a cow pose here. Exhale, tuck it under, cat. Inhale, seated cow. Exhale, seated cat. Inhale, seated cow, pause. This time, take it forward and exhale. Melt yourself into this nice hip opening hold. Wherever you can come, maybe close your eyes. And only you know where your attention goes. And wherever your attention goes, our energy starts to flow. So coming back to our discussion of suffering, if we feed those parts of us, if we feed the complaints, if we feed the story of suffering, then our energy will create more suffering. And so it's not that we're going to be comfortable always, or we're not going to have things that we struggle with, but we don't have to feed our attention, feed our energy in. Take an inhale, begin to lift yourself all the way upright. Take the soles of the feet down onto the ground in front of you. Hands come behind you for an altar pose. You're going to press through the hands and feet, lifting the hips up towards the sky. Lift them really high. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, go ahead and lower your hips, but keep the feet on the ground. Begin to bring them a little bit closer together. We're going to make our way into a boat pose to fire up our core. So To start, it's kind of a magic how this happens. Bring your hands behind your feet. Sit up nice and tall here. Begin to lean back. And as you lean back, walk your feet towards you. Keep leaning back. And then the feet are going to start to float. Once the feet float, keep lifting the heart. See if you can bring the shins parallel. Wake up your feet, if that means flexing or pointing or what I call a floint or like a Barbie doll foot. And then draw the navel in towards the spine. Stay strong here. Lift the heart, roll the shoulders back. It always helps to take the corners of your mouth high, so try on a smile. And if you need, or if you can, or if you'd like to take more, take the hands away from the legs. Feel the fire of life. Feel yourself alive here. Take an inhale and an exhale. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, let your feet come back to the earth. Give your thighs a hug and really tuck and round the back body here. Should feel nice. And then inhale, sit back up. And one more time, we're going to move from that boat pose into a canoe. So you can imagine if this is our boat, a canoe is a lot longer and flatter. So begin to release your legs out long. Begin to lower your torso until you're just on the lower part of your back. Maybe looking at your belly, drawing the navel into the spine. Maybe looking at your toes. Take another breath in. And then as you exhale, go ahead and lower, bringing the head and heels to the mat. Extend the thumbs up and behind you. Taking a full body stretch. Exhale, pause here. Just like we did standing up, capture your left wrist with your right hand. And then you're going to begin to lean over towards the right. Maybe you shift up and over a bit, moving your shoulders. And then we're going to also move our feet over to the right. So start to walk your heels over towards the right as much as you can, keeping both hips on the ground. So you can imagine you're creating, it's called banana asana, or like a crescent moon. And then lastly, maybe you take that left heel and cross it over your right ankle. And take a few breaths into the fullness of the left side body. And wind your ankle if you crossed it. Release your wrist and start to walk your shoulders and your heels back into neutral. And then we'll take it to the other side. So you'll grab your right wrist with your left hand and start to lean over to the left side. Maybe walk your shoulders to really get deep. Both shoulders stay grounded. And then walk your heels as well over to the left side, stretching out into that full right side body stretch. Maybe you lift the right heel, cross it over the left, and then take a few big full breaths into the right side body. And go ahead and uncross your ankles, release your wrists, and make your way back into neutral. And then one more full body stretch here. And then as you exhale, begin to draw your knees in towards your chest. As you rock side to side, kind of feel like you're walking your lower back towards the other end of your mat. So it feels like you're like lengthening out your lower back onto the mat. And then both knees are going to nestle in nice and close to the chest. All right, keeping that right knee hugged in close. Extend your left leg long towards the ground. You're going to take the right knee over towards the left side, all the way across. And you're rolling over onto that left hip, and the right arm reaches out to the right side. It's a pretty intense twist, so if you need extra support, just bend your left knee to support the right knee. So you're taking a little more of a supported twist, but still nice and detoxifying and readying us for our final surrender. Release. If you've anchored the hand to the knee, inhale your knees back to center, your right knee back Draw the left knee in. Extend the right leg out. And then take your left knee over to the right side, finding your twist, left arm reaching opposite. And again, if you need that extra support, you can bend the right knee as padding right underneath that left knee. Big breath in, big breath out. And then slowly begin to come back into center. Bringing both knees up and into the chest. Take your knees wide, feet to the sky, and we'll find our happy baby. Just take a moment to rock from side to side, releasing any tension in the lower back or sacrum. And settle right into a neutral space. Take a breath in and out here. And then bring the soles of your feet to meet. Hands can come to the outsides of the feet or the ankles. Let the knees push gently away from the body towards the front of the mat. Maybe once again, you kind of move your sacrum. I like to think of my knees as kind of like wheels of a bus. And then bringing your hands to the outside of your knees. Bring the knees together like a book. Draw them in close to the chest. Bring your nose up to meet the knees. Squeeze yourself into a tight little ball. Tight, tight, tight. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then let it all melt out as you come into a Shavasana. Legs extending, feet soften. Palms come to face upright towards the sky or the ceiling. You can maybe walk the shoulder blades underneath you to support your open hearts. Allow your eyelids to softly close. Take a moment to bring your attention into the space of your skin, into the space of your skull. Although it's the end or towards the end of our journey this morning on our mats, it's not that our practice is finished. In a way, our practice of yoga has just begun in these moments when we come to stillness at the end of our practice. Everything that we've done together this morning has prepared us, has cleared us for this moment. So choose wisely how you arrive in your final rest. Continuing to keep in mind the motivation that brought you here, or perhaps shifting to some new inspiration from this practice that you'd like to anchor in and align with as you move off of your mats back into your life. Just a few more mindful moments, a few more mindful breaths, just to lean in to yourself, to use this space in your day to mindfully make a choice to align your energy, your mind, in a conscious way of what's going to feed yourself. And just taking a couple more breaths here. And let's bring our awareness into the feet once again. This time, instead of them being on the earth, feel the feet moving. Feel the freedom of the toes, wiggle of the ankles, flexing and pointing and rolling out. Same thing with the hands. Begin to move your fingers, move your wrists. Take an inhale to stretch the arms up and overhead, reaching out long opposite directions. And then draw your knees up and towards your chest. We're gonna rock and roll our way upright today. So grab behind the knees and maybe take a few rock and rolls just to massage out the spine as you finally come upright. Rooting down your sit bones into the ground, lifting up through the crown and finding yourself in your Sukhasana seated space, seated pose. Bring the palms of your hands together, thumbs at your heart, fingers spread wide. Our Anjali Mudra, our salutation seal, is our final moment of checking in. And this time, to set an intention, to plant a seed, to continue this mindful practice, this mindful relationship with yourself as you move off of your mat this morning. And take a moment to honor yourself and to honor those that are practicing in this virtual community with us this morning. And taking one big breath in through the nose. As you exhale through the mouth, bow the chin to your chest. From the light in me, I honor the light in each of you. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning. Namaste.